Hi everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today? Alright guys, more corruption in the banking and finance sector. That's all we hear about lately. We just found out that apparently Barclays, one of the biggest banks in the world, is apparently involved in a scandal with LIBOR. LIBOR stands for the London Interbanking Offered Rate. The story is this. Apparently, these major world banks, there's 16 of them, are involved in some kind of a scheme where they are manipulating interest rates that affects everything. They're manipulating these rates between each other, and subsequently that affects everything else: credit cards, mortgage rates, currencies, you name it, it affects it. Now, what happened because of that? Well, we just found out that apparently they were fined $450 million. Apparently this is the biggest fine on record. It's a joke. These particular banks made probably billions off of this, probably tens of billions, and they're being fined $450 million. It's an absolute travesty. And the the people at Barclays are probably doing dances. Believe me, they had this all figured out ahead of time. But you have to think about something. Why the quick payoff, okay, this fine, and why isn't the mainstream media really covering this in depth at all? I'm going to tell you why. They want to brush this under the rug as fast as possible. We've been hearing nothing but incidents involving corruption with banks lately. We had the MF Global debacle. We had the JP Morgan apparent loss of, well, they're admitting now to $9 billion. Initially it was $2 billion, and it's much greater than that as well. As this plays out, we're going to find out the truth. Now, let me ask you guys, and this goes back to the events which actually led to the crash of 2008. The crash of 2008 was brought on by the banks. What they did was this. They got involved in a scheme involving mortgage-backed securities. So what they did was basically they would give loans to anyone that had a heartbeat, irregardless if they can pay it back or not. They didn't care. All they did was package these mortgages, okay, and sell them off to the next guy, realizing these were bad bets. But they didn't care. They just wanted to pull out their profit and move on to the next guy. Subsequently, they did this thousands upon thousands upon tens of thousands upon hundreds of thousands of times. Then what happened is all these bad bets, these bad mortgages, which they knew were bad, were put into a pool, and subsequently investors and other banks were able to pull loans out of this pool into what's called tranches. Tranches are slices, okay? And subsequently all of that debt was leveraged, and subsequently all this money was lost. It all started out with the bad bets. Now, all of these banks that were doing it were rewarded for their behavior, except Bear Stearns. Bear Stearns was actually bought out by JP Morgan, as a matter of fact. And they were all made whole under the TARP program using our money. You understand? So, whatever these banks do, they're going to get rewarded. As a matter of fact, these bailouts that we're seeing right now, we keep hearing about more and more bailouts all over the world, these major banks. Why are they doing that? What's the real reason behind it? I'm going to tell you. Under President Clinton, there was a circumvention of what was known as the Glass-Steagall Act, which basically allowed the banks to now gamble with your money. Exactly. Not their own money, your money. So all of that money is gone. It's been lost. So what they're not telling you is they're reliquefying these banks to make them whole again, because they lost your money and they lost my money. Truthfully, they didn't lose my money. I don't keep money in any of these banks. You guys have to understand that everything that I tell you is what I'm doing. Okay? I keep very little cash around, and it's in a credit union, not in any of these commercial banks that have exposure to all the global debt, the derivatives market, and are involved in a lot of these schemes. And this is what I advise you guys to do as well. Just keep enough money in these institutions to cover your bills, and that's it. You should be becoming your own central bank by now, and you guys have to understand this criminal enterprise known as the banking sector. You can literally paint it with one brush. They're all interconnected, and they're bringing down the world, guys. You know, you have to understand what's really going on behind the scenes. Okay, let me just illuminate this a little for you. During the crash of 2008, okay, this is going to sound fantastic, but this is an absolute fact. And most of you out there probably know this already, but let me just go over it. While housing prices were plummeting, while 401ks were losing value across the board, and people were distracted with all that, a completely new type of government was installed right here in the United States. We now have a corporate state controlled by the government. It's fascism, guys. Right under our noses, this happened. And this is why you're seeing these situations, you know, grow. Why have not one individual or institution involved in any of this criminal activity been arrested, brought up on charges, or anything else? Why do you think that is? It's because they're part and parcel of the same thing. I talk about this all the time, guys. The central banks, the policymakers, for the most part, and the corporate insiders, they're all in this scheme together. They're not going to prosecute each other. They're not going to do anything. All they're going to do is continue to fleece you and try to fleece me. And what I am trying to do is get you guys on the right side of this equation. That's it. Now, why I feel that this situation here involving this LIBOR scandal may be a black swan event is people are going to start realizing, hey, what is going on here? More and more of these banks are involved in criminal activity. Nothing's happening to these people, and they're going to start to lose faith in what's going on. This is why they're trying to settle this so fast, guys. This is why they want to just find this bank. The bank is going to just pay them off gladly, because this is a fraction of the profits that they've pulled off from this scandal. They just want to get it out of the way. The mainstream media doesn't want to deal with it. They're not going to talk about it to any great degree. President Obama doesn't want to deal with it. None of the leaders in the European Union want to deal with it, or anywhere. They just want to brush it under like they brush under everything else. Guys, all of these institutions, starting with Bear Stearns prior to the crash, Lehman Brothers, AIG, MF Global, JP Morgan Chase, Barclays, they're criminal enterprises, guys, seriously. And if you guys don't listen to what I've been trying to tell you for months upon months about how you got to get your money out of these institutions while you can, and you need to become your own central bank now, you're going to regret it. Believe me, you're going to regret it. People, there is going to be, and there already is, plans in the making for a new monetary system. The one we're in now is dying, all right? The last video I did demonstrated this in charts. I've showed you how the dollar is dying, how commodities are rising, and this is going to get much, much worse, because money is dying. And as a matter of fact, think of it this way. Commodities, because the dollar is the world reserve still, and it is losing that status, As the dollar dies, all of this is going to become more expensive, and your cost of living is going to double and triple and go up from there. You're not going to be able to support yourself. You're not going to be able to buy basic things to live as this accelerates. This is why I've been telling you guys, this is not just a matter of preserving your wealth and watching it grow. It's a matter of life and death right now. There's no doubt about it. We've borrowed from the future to create a better now. And we've created a paradigm shift for the future. Subsequently, we've built up epic amounts of debt which can never be paid back. And all of these institutions that we've been talking about are exposed to it multiple fold because it's leveraged debt, right? And your money is gone. Whatever money is on these banks' balance sheets does not exist. It does not exist. And this is why, again, I urge all of you to get your money out while you can, because it's not there. The banking system is failed. It has failed. It's been corrupted. As a matter of fact, the entire system is corrupted from the top on down. And because of that, we are going to see a global reset. We're marching towards it right now. The reset is this, the crash. The crash is coming, guys. I've done several videos talking about how gold is poised to make some big moves moving forward. Why? Why is that going to happen? Because the dollar is dying, okay? And this particular LIBOR event may be the black swan which kicks this all off. Guys, I really hope this is making sense to you. We really need to understand the fact that this is a financial war. We are in financial war right now. It's us against them. They are going to win. I'm telling you that right now, because most of the people are going to lay down and become absolutely fleeced. They're going to lose everything, including their lives, because of this situation. Guys, you have to understand something else. We are marching right into global war. Wars have been fought over less than what's going on right now. World War I. How do we get involved in that? The sinking of the Lusitania, one ship. World War II. Japan attacks Pearl Harbor. We lost 3,500 sailors during that battle right there. World War II, subsequently. The Vietnam War. One ship was attacked, apparently. The USS Maddox was attacked by the Viet Cong, who had no navy. Okay, they had antiquated World War II torpedo boats, which they got from France, and they apparently attacked a modern warship, the United States Maddox. It was all a lie, obviously, to get us involved in the war. Guys, I could go on and on about all this, and it's all a manipulation, it's all lies, and we are marching into war. This is going to lead to global war. Not only is it going to lead to global war, in the streets outside of your house, there's going to be pandemonium as this financial game really comes to light and people realize that they're done, they have no money, the banks are insolvent. So before that happens, you guys should already have your money out of these banks. You guys should already have become your own central banks by acquiring gold and silver, more specifically silver. Guys, you have to understand something. Unless you have the asset in your hand, you know what you got? You got nothing. Zero. Okay, I don't care if you're investing in SLV, GLD, or even if you have equities, because you have nothing in your hand. Okay, you need to have it in your hand. This is why I advocate owning gold and silver. They're very easy to own and very easy to store. So guys, just once again, this LIBOR thing is huge, okay? And as this accelerates, we're going to see more and more of this corruption in the financial sector come to light. And it's going to cause fear, and fear is what's going to drive the crash in equities, which is going to be the mother of them all, which is going to burst the debt bubble. When the debt bubble bursts, guys, it's the game changer of them all. The financial landscape across the globe is going to change, and millions of people are going to die because they're not going to have access to basic resources. They're going to become unavailable to most because they're going to, one, be so expensive people aren't going to be able to afford basic things to live. Okay, entitlement programs here in the United States, cut, you name it, everything's going to be cut to the bone. The governments are going to go into survival mode. Okay, there's probably going to be martial law, and there's no way out of this, guys. This is how this is going to play out. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. I'm going to end this video. Please subscribe to my channel. You'll be the first to get these videos. Guys, please support this blog and help me with this. You can easily do that by picking up a copy of one of my books. I have 4 available on Amazon.com. Just put my name in there. In Amazon search, you'll come up with 4 books. I have 1 book. It just came out. It's only available on Lulu.com. It won't be out on Amazon for several months. So if you want to be one of the first people to get this book and possibly use that information to help you with the situation that we're marching right into, you can pick it up now. Lulu.com. I'm going to place a link to it in the description of this video. Guys, I really hope you're taking this seriously. Please share these videos. We need to get more people on the right side of this equation. This is no joke. We are at a critical juncture at this time. Guys, I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.